what appears to be your national championship team from WPRA in 2025. Look at our starting grid in Pro Class 1. These boats can top out in the 140-mile-an-hour range.
A little bit of jitters, no doubt, as we look at Britt Lilly and Bill Pyburn. And
see Bill with his hands on the
he's
throttles.
Shifting now in and out of gear. The shorter levers are your shift controls. The taller ones are your throttles. So he's just kind of keeping them in position for when they finally get them going and on plane. They'll put them on plane to 50 miles an hour, take them up to those green buoys that we talked about a little bit ago, and then they're all supposed to be lined up and take off when they hit the buoys. So let's see how this works, and they're going to get them rolling right now.
You see the pace boat with the yellow flag up. They're supposed to stay back, and they're supposed to come up at about 50 miles an hour.
Your chief referee, Bob Teague, and the Race World Offshore president, Larry Blyle, are both on that boat.
No one is supposed to edge in front. No one is supposed to jump the start. There's, you know, some people can be accused of slingshotting, kind of laying back and then catching speed and catching up, and they can't do that either. But appears that they're lining up pretty decently here.
Well, let's see though.
Lilly's on the inside, so the other boats have got to come up to him.
Yep,
and line up.
He's kind of establishing the lanes.
This looks like a really good lineup at this point.
Yep,
and they're very close to the gate. This will be the start of Pro Class 1, our final race of the XINSURANCE Clearwater Nationals. And the race is on for the WPRA National Championship in Pro Class 1.
Looked like a clean start, so let's see who's set up for acceleration here early. And Monster Energy getting out to the early lead. Tyler Miller, Myrick Coyle, but Willie Cabeza and Grant Bruggeman on the inside and the MTI are not letting them run away.
Well, the top three lanes, they look pretty close in speed. GC's going to have the inside lane, and we'll edge forward in a shorter way around the south end.
Defending that inside lane, and here comes Monster Energy in second. XINSURANCE South should be third. They've just started their first lap. XINSURANCE North
Seems to be following up the field. I think Pothole Heroes is in fourth. So GC Racing has a nose, but it looks like carrying speed is Monster Energy, Tyler Miller, and Myrick Coyle.
This is the same place where Graydell made its move in the Supercat race in this outer leg in front of the spectator fleet. So let's see how what they have for them.
Battle for
fourth and fifth.
Yeah, fourth and fifth with Pothole Heroes, Carlos de Quesada and John Tomlinson in the victory hole versus the Marine Technologies. XINSURANCE North, Nick Buis, JJ Turk in fourth. Back to our leaders, you can see they're side by side. GC Racing again continuing to hold the inside lane, but in their hip pocket is Monster.
Willie's trying to defend that line because he knows if Myrick gets 2 boat lengths over him, he can take the lane.
Really turned tight. Monster goes wide. XINSURANCE South dives to the inside. Now is to skate off of the wake of both boats into the outside. GC Racing with the lead. Monster Energy in second. XINSURANCE South in third.
Yeah, that was just a situation where Myrick went wide, but then came back in and didn't do anything wrong. It wasn't anything. He had the room to come across back in front of XINSURANCE South, but that's why Britt Lilly, the driver of XINSURANCE South, had to go wide. And now we're set up with GC Racing all the way to the left in the inside lane, Monster Energy in the middle, XINSURANCE outside.
All right, so Marine Technologies in the lead after lap number 1 of 6, followed by Monster Energy in second. XINSURANCE South will be in third, but Willie Cabeza, Grant Bruggeman
and lap 1, yep.
Ending that lap at over 135 miles an hour, I have unofficially Monster Energy second, XINSURANCE South third. They seem to all make good choices on prop selection. They'll lose some speed in the turn, but now into the straightaway. Now the two top boats can deploy their tunnel tabs. They're going to have extra speed down the straightaways because they're number 6 stern drive boats.
The DSR of offshore racing. Wow, look at them checking out now a little bit.
Imcon 129 miles an hour, just a couple of miles an hour off of. We'll have to check the speed on GC on that last one. But both boats right at the 130 mile an hour plus mark. Monster Energy in second. XINSURANCE South trying to get in front of Monster. They really need to finish in front of Monster Energy in order for them to win the WPRA National Championship. GC 131 miles an hour. Unofficially on lap number 1, Monster 129.
But even if it stays like this, I don't think GC would have enough for the title.
Well, yeah, GC really needs XINSURANCE South and Monster to drop off and fall back in the pack.
So that's unlikely at this point, but we're still, it's only a 6-lap race though.
If Monster stays in front of XINSURANCE, we could have a tie in a tiebreaker situation. But we'll have to see how it sorts out. This is lap 2 of 6. The GC Racing picks up right where they left off yesterday in Pro Class 1, carrying the pace.
And how?
Monster Energy in second. Athena, Kansas. 428 Skater. There's the 482 Marine Technologies in the lead. Basic Graham Bruggeman of Grand Signature Racing.
Willie
went up and down the
Pinecrest,
classes.
Florida. Yep.
I mean, Grant's won in all kinds of classes. Imcon 3 seconds off the pace of the leader. XINSURANCE South 7 seconds back. They'll have that 250-pound penalty. They have the tunnel tab, so they have to add some extra weight to the boat. But again, here, down the straightaway, they can deploy, compress more air down the tunnel, get some extra lift. Watch the leaders coming straight down the northbound leg. Watch those Pro Class 1s bounce on the water. The XINSURANCE Helicam.
Perfectly trimmed in that boat. He's just flying across the tops of the waves. There's not much chop.
On lap number 3 of 6, almost to the halfway point. Another excellent turn by Willie. Monster Energy stalking. XINSURANCE South close.
Yep, that's the XINSURANCE South coming out of the turn. They don't seem to have the acceleration they had earlier this year, because they were flying at Michigan City.
Marine Technologies hull. See the top 3 in the screen now. Back to number 32 GC Racing. Clocking that at 2 minutes 21 seconds. That's a 132.67 mile an hour lap. Lap number 4 of 6. Monster Energy. Tyler Miller, Myrick Coyle, 2-time Super Cat champions in Imcon. Trailing GC in second. great skater. Imcon just a couple, 3 miles an hour slower than GC on that last lap. All these boats paired with the Mercury 1100 turbocharged QC4V engines. This boat was converted from a shaft and rudder boat to stern drive boat. Peter led it in record time. Watch the boats skip the water and head right into the north turn. More time around. Back down in front of the fans on the beach. Goes GC Racing.
We should be coming up the end of lap 5, right? Or is this when he crosses? We'll see.
I'm a lap behind. There's the Dirty Money Racing team inside the cockpit of XINSURANCE South. Part of a two-team field for XINSURANCE in Pro Class 1. Your leader, GC Racing.
Marine Technology Inc. Kind of a factory effort for the boat company based out of Wentzville, Missouri. Calls Lake of the Ozarks home. That should be the end of lap 5. Here's your third place boat.
XINSURANCE South.
Had some Guardian issues yesterday.
Oh, there, goodness.
Whoa,
they're with GC Racing, I believe.
Wow.
Goodness. Oh, dear.
GC Racing went over. And this will most likely be a red flag in the end of it. They're not going to restart it for one lap, I wouldn't think, but we'll see.
We just caught the end of that. Safety divers go in. If you're new to racing, the cockpits are contained. There's a safety hatch on the underneath the tunnel of the boat. The team have air and oxygen inside. They have to get themselves out of their restraints. This is a practice that they have to take to be able to race, to extricate themselves from
Let's
the
see
boats.
what happened here. They looked to be in so smooth. Let's see here. Coming into the turn.
Follow them around.
Well, just hooked.
It just hooked and came over. Both the driver and throttle man, we're hearing, are out and all safe. You look at that replay. Gosh.
Yes.
Both Grant and Willie on the tunnel of the boat with the SSR safety crew. Kudos to Sean Steiner, J.R. Anderson's group of 15. They're deployed in the air. They're deployed on safety boats strategically.
The speed at which they arrived.
Yes.
It was like, I don't even think the boat had fully come to rest and there was a diver in the water. So
amazing.
Very grateful to those guys and the effort that they put in, because they develop all this training on their own. There's no book for this to be a rescue team in this sport.
So this flag is flagged at this point, and race officials will have to determine whether they'll restart on what we think was probably a lap and a half or 2 laps left. There are 2 laps left in this race.
Historically, if you've completed more than 50%, they might not, but because the national championship is so close and your top 2 contenders are still out on the water, they may restart it.
Well,
I mean, the permit goes till 5, so
sure,
we're not
yeah, I think that race officials will contemplate this. And then where would you put Monster and where would you put a Dirty Money? Because they had not passed that boat. They were trailing it.
Right, well, Monster. Oh, as far as in the
Yeah,
finish
exactly.
positions.
Yeah.
Well, they crossed the finish line. I guess that was the end of lap 4.
We'll let the
Yeah.
officials sort it out and pass that information on to you. Again, Willie Gabesa, Grant Bruggerman,
They're out of the boat and
rolled
okay.
that
That's
boat
the main
over
thing.
in the south turn. Just kind of hooked it and rolled it over, and both are safe. Both are out of the cockpit. And
We'll
again,
take another look at it here.
Yeah, take another look at it. And they've been motoring right along, cruising for 2 days in Pro Class 1. There you can see it slide a little bit.
Just grabbed a little bit.
Yep.
Yeah.
And grabbed and over. Goodness. Bad luck for the GC
Yeah.
Racing team, but the good news is the men are well.
New boat this year. Unfortunately now, as we all know, when this stuff happens in salt water, engines got to come out. All the wiring will have to be replaced. They got a lot of work to do before Key West if they want to try to be down there.
They'll get to it. You know that they were just tasting victory.
Yes.
For the first time, you know, officially, because this is a 2-race format. So you had to win. You know, you had to finish up good today.
Had to win both. Or not win both,
but
but
certainly get the points to win, to take the overall victory. They were right there to be on the top of the podium. And
I mean, ideally, the best way to get the boat back in would be to roll it over out here and tow it in on its bottom. It does a lot less damage, but we'll have to see, because that's a big boat to do that with. It's not like this is a super stock boat that you can just muscle it over. This is 48 feet.
biggest boat in the class.
The divers all got in.
Yeah. Now the other thing is your Angel divers that jumped
from the helicopter.
They've got to get back in the helicopter. So we got to get them back to shore and in the helicopter. So there's a lot that's going to take place right now, and we'll see if they'll try and right the.
Unless they had 2 in the helicopter, but only 1 deployed.
And then obviously race officials have to make a decision on where this race stands.
Yeah.
Where this incident happened was in the turn.
Just past start finish.
Yeah, you had to, red flag, to keep the boats from moving through that area. So the boats at the time, GC was in first, Monster in second, XINSURANCE South in third.
Doesn't look like they're trying to attempt to roll it over. It looks like they're just getting it in as quick as they can.
Concerned onlookers from Pier 60.
That's pretty. It's a pretty short tow to the crane, right? That's one of the reasons why.
Too far, yes. No, certainly not. They're going to restart? Yeah, we're hearing they're going to do a restart. We'll find out how many laps in a moment.
Yep.
So a lot has to be deployed. As we mentioned, they are going to do a restart. We've got to get safety back into position. We've obviously got 1 towboat that's tied up at the moment.
They may do something where they just hold the boat in the middle of the course until they complete the 2 laps.
Yeah, it's so far off, they'll probably just pull it to the south, I would imagine. Get it a little bit closer to the cranes. You can see that the cranes are right at the end of the bridge.
Oh yeah, I
the
see
left.
them
So they're really not far away.
And that wouldn't impinge on the course in any way. So that's the smart move, is just
much easier to, We're going to take another look at a replay of the event and really focus in on how quickly the safety team deploys here, Eric.
Yeah. Here slides, it goes over.
This is real time.
And boom. Now watch the center console come in from the left of your screen. and right there, and they're already
Divers
going
in
in.
the water.
I think that was what, 20 seconds?
Here comes, yep, Angel on the scene
Oh.
in less than 30
No,
seconds.
both of them went in. So
Yep.
yeah, we are going to have to get divers back
2 more divers
in the Angel helicopter. So that'll take some logistics. And now they've got the boat under tow. Probably just going to go straight to the cranes with it.
You know, we make a lot about the heroism of these drivers and the high speeds and the G's. The real heroes are the rescue driver, the rescue divers, and the men of SSR rescue team, Sean Steinert and J.R. Anderson's crew.
Yeah, I mean, there was no hesitation. So this is why we're here. We're going in.
And thankfully, onto the XINSURANCE North cam. We've heard tentatively there's going to be a restart. We'll cautiously be optimistic that there is, as we look from inside XINSURANCE North. We're wondering what the item dangling from the top of the cockpit. It's a good luck charm that JJ Turk has.
Yep. It was a gift, and take any luck you can get.
Yeah, don't move it.
Yes.
Yeah, you might you might get smacked. So our Pro Class 1 boats are out and motoring again.
Yeah, they would use the same start procedure, so they're going to take them up to the other end of the course. If they're going to do a restart, they'll bring them down and start them again at the green buoys. So it's just a matter of how long does it take to get 2 more divers in the helicopter? Where can they put the helicopter down? Because a lot of times they have to go back to an airport, and they would bring the divers into shore by boat.
Yeah, I think that there is another good thing about the Sand Key Park area is there's places where helicopters to land there, and as long as they have enough fuel, we wouldn't have any issues with that. And so then you could just get the divers back to Sand Key, and all you have to do is get the boats back deployed to the race course. Look at overhead at the boats that were running second and third. Second was Monster Energy, third XINSURANCE South. And these two teams, I mean, when we came into the day, XINSURANCE South in the national point standings had 414 points after yesterday. Monster Energy 408. I mean, you're talking about a difference of 16 points, but...
So now does this become an unexpected opportunity for XINSURANCE South?
I mean, it seemed that they were stuck in third place.
Yeah.
But, I mean, for XINSURANCE South to finish second to Monster, that would a tie. We could see the divers coming off at the dry pits. We're told that Grant and Willie are on the safety boat that you see in the middle of the screen. Try and keep it here. Members of the
MTI
yeah, the
teams.
MTI GC racing team.
They're going to do a 3-lap. They're going to restart and run a 3-lap race. So now the team is already in. Okay, let's get this thing in and get it out of the salt. They've got the straps ready.
Yep.
They want that boat out of the water as quickly as possible.
Good point. Yep, they've got the straps ready to go. Let's get this boat over here. Let's get it up and out of the water. They've got a lot of work to do.
So the lanes for the restart will just be the running order of the remaining boats, which was Monster Energy be inside lane, will be lane 1, XINSURANCE South lane 2.
And you see Grant and Willie on the stern of the boat there.
Yep.
The fire boat, Clearwater Fire and Rescue. Good to see them well. J.R. Anderson, you see the
Pothole Heroes team is all there. I mean, these guys will all help each other get that boat and try to just make sure everyone's okay. Willie's smiling, so that's a good sign.
Yeah, Tristan, you can see talking with Grant to try and get them up from the pits for you here momentarily with a pit report. So a 3-lap race to finish here in Pro Class 1 after GC Racing turns over on the south turn here in front of the fans on Clearwater Beach. As the remaining Pro Class 1 boats wait for a restart. They're now,
and there shouldn't be fuel concerns or anything, because they were going to run a 6-lap race anyway, and no one's run a whole bunch of extra idling around, so they should have enough fuel. That shouldn't come into play, really.
The boys just got to sit there and wait. And it's building heat here in Clearwater. We talked about a heat index in the mid-90s. Not seeing anything on radar, like any showers that might come in and push the winds up unexpectedly here over the next.
But we are seeing white caps
yeah.
that we haven't seen most of the afternoon.
Yeah, there for a little bit we did earlier, but you know, they said there was a bit of a rolling swell, and you can expect potentially that to build a little bit. But I believe these, 40 to 47 foot catamarans can handle it.
Oh yeah, they'll roll across the top. It's more if it's a crosswind, what it would do to them is they're trying to run straight down the back stretch or the front stretch. If it's going to make them crab, which basically takes away speed.
Currently at Clearwater Beach, according to the National Weather Service, we have a heat index of 92. The wind out of the northwest at 8. So the wind still really not quite a factor.
Right.
Even though the boats it's quartering into them, not straight down the tunnel. Still, you'd most be concerned if the winds got up above 15, near 20 miles an hour. As you can see, as the seas coming off the Gulf, as Eric mentioned, it's white capping just a little bit.
So I'm assuming that's the XINSURANCE helicopter we see in the frame, because they don't carry the divers.
Yep, and they're overhead now of the remaining grid. Remember, these boats will race again, but it will be for a 3-race World Championship in Key West the first week in November. It is the pinnacle in offshore racing in the world over the last 5 decades. 44th annual Race World Offshore Key West World Championships. Full schedule events, VIP tickets at raceworldoffshore.com. 3 days of racing in 5 days. And you talk up and down the ranks, all the legends of the sport, and all the guys that hope to put their name on the trophy with them.
Yeah.
This is the greatest achievement you could have to win in Key West.
Well, we just got word the other day through Matt Trulio at Speed on the Water that Steve Curtis and the Sheikh from Qatar will be back in Key West, but in the extreme class.
That'll be cool to see.
The problem for
replay
here
of
we
the
are
incident
with the replay.
that's held up the race to this point as GC Racing went over in the lead with only a couple laps left.
Oh,
so
they just reduced the laps to 2.
So race officials now say this is a 2-lap heat. So Monster Energy was right there and did come around them. Yep. Back to the live shot of the boat being towed in as the MTI team is waiting to crane it out of the water. And race officials now reducing this down to a 2-lap heat because of fuel concerns by the teams. They're only going to carry as much fuel as they have to, a little extra potentially, but all of that goes into the setup of the boat. So now it's going to be a 2-lap heat.
If it was a rougher race, they'd just put more fuel in it, and that acts as ballast. So to keep the boat down. But in these waters, for these big boats, you only want to carry as much as you need to win the race.
Well, you mentioned Steve Curtis coming back, Sheikh Jaborthin Al Thani of Qatar, and the XINSURANCE South boat, one of their old boats.
Yep.
That they used to race. Of course, they went on some big speed runs together. They set the world speed record think of the Ozarks, the 1 mile category at like 244 with turbines.
Right, and then Steve just reset it with, I forget the gentleman's name, but he's the president of the International Hot Rod Association. In the same boat, 242, but it was the 3/4 mile course.
That's right.
So they actually probably accelerated better to do 242 in the 3/4 mile versus 244 in the full mile.
Race officials are waiting for the return of safety and support vessels, so we're expecting to get these boats back up and moving on the grid in 3 or 4 minutes.
And the Steve and the Sheik will be running in the extreme class.
So waiting for safety crew members to get back on station to start this thing as we look into the cockpit of Pothole Heroes. John Tomlinson's window of view from his throttle man position.
You know, it would be nice to see the Sheik and Steve have some competition in the extreme class.
Beautiful shot of Clearwater Beach here from overhead.
That new, I believe it's a 50 skater, owned by a gentleman named Jeff Stevenson, whose throttleman is Michael Stancombe.
Yep.
See if we can nudge the JBS team and say, yeah, we'll go race against Steve and the Sheik in Key West.
We ought to be able to put on a good show together.
Public shame them.
So, hope to see the American Custom Marine boat. It's a V-bottom, but they came out and ran some races on the RWO and PRO season.
Unfortunately, it would not be with their regular driver, Chris Uzi, who just sustained some injuries in a boating accident. And we wished him well earlier and just would like to see him have a speedy recovery.
As we await safety crew to get back on station, we're getting ready for a 2-lap sprint that will determine today's heat win.
Yep.
And likely potentially the WPRA national champion. And that battle is going to be between the team on the left, the black Monster Energy, and the team to its right, XINSURANCE South. Back to the crane area where they are going to crane that boat out of the water.
Yeah, so what they'll probably try to do is get the ropes on one side to lift it up to drain it and flip it over. And then they'll put the straps on that they would normally put on to pick it up and put it on the trailer.
Stay with this shot as long as we can. Most important thing that the owner driver Willie Gabesa and his throttleman Brent Bruggeman are well. Saw them back at the pits.
Willie smiled when he got off the safety boat. So,
well, I remember when he was racing with Gary Ballou and they went over a marathon. And Gary told me, he said to him, Gary was kind of cringing a little bit, and Willie's like, well, at least we got that out of the way.
Yeah.
So,
okay,
I'm not sure he was looking for that response in Pro Class 1.
We're rolling the boats to get them on plane, so they are restarting this race.
We are ready to go. This is a 2-lap heat. Monster Energy will have the inside lane. XINSURANCE South will have lane 2.
XINSURANCE North, lane 3, and Pothole Heroes, lane 4.
So they're getting right to it, folks. A 2-lap sprint to determine today's winner and possibly the WPRA national champion. They will officially go when they go through that green buoy gate.
There it
buoy
is.
on each side, you see it. And folks, in Pro Class 1, the race is on. Monster Energy on the inside with speed. XINSURANCE North.
With speed too.
But XINSURANCE North carrying a lot of speed. Now, will they move over in front of XINSURANCE South?
Has to be 2 boat lengths for the overlap.
It's very close.
Yeah.
They seem to be holding their lane.
Look at Pothole Heroes coming
Maybe
up.
protecting their teammates in XINSURANCE South. IMCON and XINSURANCE North. You can see XINSURANCE South, they're carrying up the rear. But XINSURANCE North, farther away around the turn, Pothole Heroes going wide of them.
Yep. So that's just the longest way around.
As we look overhead, see where these boats have settled in.
Looks like Monster Energy is leading, but now XINSURANCE South.
Yeah, where did XINSURANCE North go? Monster Energy has the lead. Pothole Heroes holding up fourth. XINSURANCE South in second. And this looks like a mirror image of the previous race. XINSURANCE South about 3 seconds behind. 5 seconds is XINSURANCE North. We've only got 2 laps here, folks.
Monster really wants XINSURANCE North in between them and South if they could have.
Absolutely.
But I don't see any sign of XINSURANCE North. So
I mean, unofficially, if they finish in this order, I have them tied. Now, are they carrying speed on the outside, XINSURANCE South?
Let's see. Here they come into the buoy.
Hard to tell.
So we've already
sometimes these angles are deceiving, but no. Monster Energy holding the inside lane.
Yep.
And the lead.
Oh, there's North. They're still battling. So they're gonna. This is gonna be the end of lap 1 when they come down to pass the start boat, or the finish line rather, the yellow buoy.
Monster Energy with a good lead. And after this, there'll be 1 lap to go. Yep, they're in second. To determine the WPRA National Championship. The tiebreakers are speed and distance traveled during the season. So we're not going to, if they end up like this, we're not going to be able to tell you who the national championship is until tonight at the awards. But Monster Energy has the lead after lap 1 of 2. Tyler Miller and Myra Coyle, they are on their game today.
Yes, they are.
The only thing that stopped them earlier was GC Racing, but they have been retired after flipping in heat number 2. And Monster Energy out for the last lap of the day in the lead in Pro Class 1. Team that won the national points last year. XINSURANCE South in second. Bill Pyburn, Britt Lilly. Monster Energy turned that lap at 135.5 miles an hour around the course in just over 2 minutes, 25 seconds. XINSURANCE South in chase. But they may know that they could tie them in points finishing there. There's your grid heading northbound. Back to the number 3 boat. JJ Turk, Nick Buis, XINSURANCE North. There's your leader, Monster. Moving towards the camera. XINSURANCE South to the outside, North to the inside. Pothole Heroes following up. Monster Energy in the lead, a half lap to go. XINSURANCE South in second. Around the north turn for the final time this weekend, the XINSURANCE Clearwater Nationals.
Yeah, it's going to be Tyler Miller and Myra Coyle possibly winning another championship. Didn't they win the national title last year?
They won the world points championship during the season in Monster Energy, no doubt about it.
Yep.
And here comes your Pro Class 1 leader, Monster Energy, followed by XINSURANCE South. This will be the checkered flag in Pro Class 1. Your winner on this Sunday, Monster Energy Racing, Tyler Miller, Myrick Coyle. 428 skater with Mercury 1100 QC4V turbocharged 1100 horsepower engines. They take first. XINSURANCE South second. And XINSURANCE North third. Pothole Heroes will take fourth. Second lap, 131.8. 132.8. First lap 132.5. Monster Energy, your winner here today. And unofficially, folks, and we will tell you unofficially, it's still a lot of tech that has to go on, with X Insurance South finishing 4 seconds behind and North 7 seconds off the leader.
Say congratulations to their crew chief, Jake Lecklater, and his team.
They work hard there. They are a good bunch at IMCON Racing. Monster Energy, proud of their team on the water, winners today.
The second start is under review. So
we're hearing
the
from race
restart
control.
is under review.
Now, again, another reason why you see unofficial on that leaderboard. But there's your winner, Monster Energy. And again, unofficially, you know, coming into the day, X Insurance South had 414 points, Monster 408. So with the win and the 4 bonus points, Monster gets 54 points. So they have 462 national points. X Insurance South gets 48 points, which includes 3 bonus points. They have the exact number of 462.
It would be
so
good
this
to
will go
know,
to a tiebreaker.
It would be good to know what they're reviewing from the start. Didn't look like anyone jumped.
Well,
That's
nobody's got a better
boat.
view than the eyes and the GoPro on the transom of that start boat.
Right.
Some of these camera angles can be tough sometimes. But here's Myrick and Tyler taking the checkered flag. Good catch, Mr. Miller.
Pretty cool when the president of Race World Offshore throws you the flag, too.
That's right.
Pretty sure that was Larry Blyle that made the toss.
And they'd love to have that happen again in Key West in a month at the RWO World Championships. Great into the season for them for a second straight year in Pro Class 1. Monster Energy Racing